Hi again. Earlier, we introduced the concept of the human factor. Now, let's learn about other psychological phenomena that can impact UX design. Sometimes the human factor isn't as simple as lacking concentration or needing motivation. Human beings can be pretty complicated. We're always making associations between what we think and what we see. For example, humans usually prefer the color red over the color blue. Why? A 2005 study of the Olympic Games might give us a clue. For one-on-one combat-style competitions like wrestling or boxing, Olympic rules randomly give one athlete a blue uniform and the other one a red uniform. Researchers discovered that Olympians in red won a statistically higher portion of their matches than those in blue. The study attributed these findings to the human tendency to associate the color red with dominance and aggression. Because of that association, the athletes wearing red were thought to be in a better mindset for a fight. Turns out, the right outfit really can make all the difference. But it's not just color preferences that make humans so complex. Every day, whether we know it or not, we experience examples of psychological phenomena. Let's check out some that can be especially useful to UX designers. The first psychological phenomena, von Restorff effect, or isolation effect, states that when multiple similar objects are present, the one that differs from the rest is most likely to be remembered. Think back to the childhood games you used to play. Remember those spot the difference puzzles? The puzzles were made up of images. Maybe there'd be a picture of 3 cows. The first 2 cows are white with black spots and look like pretty generic cows. They fit a young child's definition of what a cow is. But cow number 3 doesn't have any spots. The von Restorff effect tells us that the cow without spots, the unique cow, will be the one we remember. In UX design, this is why the call to action buttons look different from the rest of the buttons on a site or app, because we want them to stand out. In case you're not familiar, a call to action, or CTA, is a visual prompt that tells the user to take action. For example, the Start button on Google Maps is bright blue on a white background, which makes it stand out. The second psychological phenomena, serial position effect, says that when people are given a list of items, they are more likely to remember the first few and the last few, while the items in the middle tend to blur. This is why most applications and websites position the most important user actions toward the far right or far left of a navigation bar. The third psychological phenomena, Hicks' law, states that the more options a user has, the longer it takes for them to make a decision. We can experience Hicks' law in action in the potato chip aisle of any grocery store. Rows and rows of different potato chips. Even if you narrow your choice to one brand, you still have to decide between Ridge chips or kettle-cooked chips, sour cream and onion flavored or barbecue flavored, and so on. The options are endless, and so is the decision-making process. In other words, if the number of choices increases, the time to make a decision increases in proportion. As a UXer, you might think that giving your user a lot of choices enhances their experience, but Hicks' law tells us we may be making their decisions harder. It's important for UX designers to use these different psychological principles in an ethical way. You don't want to exploit the user. You only want to encourage them. You don't want to overpower the user. You want to empower them. With a little psychology, creativity, and empathy, what starts as a limitation can end up as a benefit. Coming up next, we'll move into the ideation phase of the design process. See you there.